Hello, everybody, and welcome to our review of Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. We are going to be kind of talking about not too in depth on spoilers or anything, but there's not too much to spoil in this if you've seen the Star Wars movies. But we're going to kind of talk about our general impressions of the game, stuff we like about it, stuff we dislike about it, give a score here at the end, and really just kind of talk about this game versus the rest of the Lego Star Wars games because we both played all the other Lego Star Wars games as well. And this one is very different, and not just different than Lego Star Wars, but different than any Lego game ever. And I'm a big fan of also the Marvel and DC Lego games. I played some of the Lord of the Rings one as well, Pirates of the Caribbean. I played a lot of Lego games, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones,
So
yeah.
this one is extremely different and an interesting step forward in the Lego game style, and hopefully it's kind of the standard for the future here. So, but before we get started, please hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel for Star Wars content, and please comment below. Let us know what you've thought of the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga so far. Let us know which episode's your favorite to play through, who's your favorite character. Let us know all of the stuff you like about this game or dislike about this game down below. So we're going to kind of just be playing free play while we discuss and review the game here. We're over Coruscant right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
Coruscant.
I gotta jump back into the game. I'm still on the stream. Okay, I'm back in. So yeah, we're gonna do one of the dog fights, but it's a good place to start talking about it because this is one of the many new features of being able to kind of fly in space. I
Am I
think
at a different one or the same one as you? Oops.
I don't know. But this is one of the randoms, not random because they're in most of the planets, but you get space battles where you can participate and you just have to basically shoot down enough enemy starfighters and then you can get coins. um, Nothing too crazy. And I think that's where, for me, this game has both improved but not it hasn't lived up to all the hype I think I've put on it, especially over the past 3 years of waiting for this thing to come out. I think it had an impossible standard to set, really, for getting to what we were all expecting out of this game.
That was
But
fast.
yeah, yeah, those things just kind of come and go. But yeah, in general, I think it has had a large variety of really cool innovations, a lot of things that have made the at least the gameplay more fun instead of more grindy. Like, and I think overall there is a kind of a culture and perspective shift in this game versus every other Lego game, which is that this game is far more about the gameplay than any of the other Lego games have ever been. And Lego games have always kind of been collectathons that are focused on you enjoying playing as characters from your favorite franchise, as well as enjoying playing through your favorite moments from your favorite franchise in Lego form. This one kind of abbreviates your favorite moments from the films. And don't get me wrong, there's still some really great levels throughout all of the episodes. There are some really standout levels for sure, but there are also plenty of levels that feel like they're over in 5 minutes. It depends what you're kind of looking for here. I think for me that was jarring initially playing it. When we started the Phantom Menace, that was kind of like I couldn't believe how fast it moves, especially because in the original versions, like that the whole scene where you're Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and you're the ambassadors on the Trade Federation Lucra Hulk starship, and like that's an entire 30-minute 40-minute level in the original game and the complete saga. So the fact that it's like it can be a 5-minute level if you want it to in this game kind of threw me off. But what are your thoughts kind of overall on the general pace of the game and the way it incorporates the story from the films along with the open world stuff?
Pace is it's tough because it's not it's not badly paced, but the choices to get to that pacing is really weird to me. The idea that we only have 5 missions, um, it's a little surprising in a way because for all the crunch that we've heard about this game, I was expecting 6. I didn't expect that to change at all. But that's the one thing that actually did change that kind of threw me off. Um, the story, it's weird. Like I know you definitely played a little bit more than I have too.
Mhm.
Even though I just am not that consistent with it. Um, but it's weird. I want to say that it does a good job with the gist of the story. But like you said, some things are super short. Some things are just condensed. There's a bit of an aversion I've noticed to just in general dealing with some of the harder stuff in Star Wars. Like it's weird because they'll show people die and like there's some pretty unexpected violence in the game, but then you'll be in somewhere like the Tusken Raider camp and it just happens and you're like, where's
Yeah.
Shmi? You don't really see that. Or you'll see like Qui-Gon's death, it just happens and you're like, okay, I guess. Like the choice to be selective about some things and not kind of throws me off at times because I'm like expecting like, oh, it's gonna be like the complete saga. It's gonna be the story. It's gonna be working through it, hopefully improved. But it really does everything to not be that game, and I
Right.
appreciate that. It's just the choices that they went for, the way everything's laid together. It definitely is an adjustment period, and I'm not opposed to it. I love the old formula, but there are some significant flaws nonetheless.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
I'm with you there. And I think this game, I think no matter how you look at it, this game is definitely more fun than the original ones. It's just
Oh
like
yeah.
the original games have the nostalgia factor that's always going to be there for us, and it's going to be impossible to ever replace that. But I do appreciate the fact that it is not Complete Saga 2.0. It's genuinely its own game, and Skywalker Saga and Complete Saga are so different in so many ways that you
Yeah.
can really get your classic Lego Star Wars game if you go back and play Complete Saga, and it still will hold up in that sense. But you got something completely new here, and I appreciate what they did here. I think one of the biggest changes, and I think we got to talk about this too for the gameplay as well, is your overall goals in these games. And back, in basically every Lego Star Wars game or every Lego game in general since Lego Star Wars, the very first game, uh, has centered around playing levels, collecting coins to buy your characters, and by doing so, also collecting or having get enough characters in each variety with different power sets or different moves to go back into the levels and collect mini kits or to get true Jedi or true hero or whatever it is in the version you're playing in whichever franchise. And that's the Lego formula, and it's rinse and repeat, and it's been like that for over a decade, actually, 15 years or so. And this game completely changes that. So now there is still true Jedi, but most of the crux of the collecting in this game revolves around the Kyber bricks. And there's,
Mhm.
I believe, 1,100, a little over 1,100 of them in this game. And that is a significant change versus the past because that's another collectible added on top of things. And what they've done is they've replaced red bricks. Should we go down the surface of the planet?
Yeah, might as well.
Um, they've replaced red bricks with data cards, but it's nicer and a little bit more user intuitive as with most of the open world stuff, and the emphasis on customization and really playing your own experience in this game. The data pads have, I think, drastically improved stuff over red bricks to where you don't have to go back into the levels and find these things for very specific power ups. You can just save your data cards and spend them on the ones you want. So for us seasoned Lego Star Wars players, you know that the ones you want to spend them on at first are the stud multipliers, so you can start to collect more studs and eventually then buy everything that you possibly want. So I find that a big improvement on the gameplay as well. It makes it a bit more rewarding and a little less grindy when you're going through things. And I also like the introduction of Kyber bricks as it pertains to the Lego, what Lego really is at its heart, which for the most part is an action adventure 3D platformer. And that's kind of what this game is if you had to boil it down to like a specific genre. And Lego's always been a genre all its own, but it really is an action adventure 3D platformer. And by doing the Kyber crystal or the Kyber brick thing, that adds a lot. It's a very reminiscent to me of something like Super Mario Odyssey, where you collect 1,000 moons, and just some of the challenges are extremely easy. Some of them make you think a little harder. Some of them take 5 minutes. Some take 10 minutes. Some take 30 seconds. It's just a large variety of let's make you do a bunch of things that you might not have done by yourself, but the game's going to make you do them just so you can see all the different mechanics in the game and kind of experience all the different parts of the game. And I think in a game like this, that was kind of a smart direction to go in, because that's where your content can get so stale, as if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And that's where Lego has gotten very stale for me over the years. But this definitely opens up that formula. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the gameplay changes that they've done and the way they've kind of changed up the collectibles, as well as the mechanics of fighting and all of that stuff?
See, I don't know if I'd call it like the entire change in how you approach Lego Star Wars. Like, it is a change to how this game is. It's a new engine. Everything about this is meant to be like the next generation of Lego games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just you can still play the game like you did back in the day. You can still hack and smash. You can still grind your way for true Jedi. You can do all those things, but they make an emphasis on pointing out that it's not necessarily the funnest thing to do. It's more fun, like you said, being creative about it. Lego is all about placing these little minifigures, creating these little funny scenarios. If you have like a Lego Star Wars character, then you're like, oh yeah, this is like my character, and this is what we did. And this little scenario, like we were in a space battle, and that's how I used to play as a kid. And you can really replicate that in a Lego Star Wars game. Like, sure, you could come in the Complete Saga, especially, you could be your own character in the customizer, but you're just doing the same thing as all the other characters here. Now it's like, yo, you can play soccer. Oh, you can help out these like strange random characters that make it feel like you're living in a galaxy, and they're hilarious. Some of them have like the weirdest accents. Some of them are like trending on Wikipedia right now. Like Nobot is trending, the ghost droid of Tatooine, who was just a background character in episode 1, but he's just so creepy and weird. And you find like his like detached dead body, and like after you can get into free play and all that, it like there's so many things you can do. The Jawas, you can just play a little soccer and get Kyber brick that way. It's fun having. I don't know what's even the right word to say. It's just fun having a world that feels so inviting to be creative, to do these funny things. Because at the end of the day, we love these Lego Star Wars games because they're fun, and more importantly, they're funny. And at some point in time, I think everyone just started getting so tired of just seeing the movies done in a mumble mode, and you're like, okay, like great. That after the initial wave of fun happens, it's whatever. Like I was telling you, I played Lego Lord of the Rings, and I played the first 2 levels, and it's like, oh man, and I just come off of like my second rewatch of the extended editions, and I was like, I'm gonna play through this game, it's gonna be awesome. And then I put it down one day, and I don't know, it was just like, with this
Mm-hmm.
game, even though I have like my little nitpicks and all that, it's fun because you can do so many things. It is an open world in a way that fits the Lego kid-friendly model.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hard to describe what it's like seeing these hub planets. Like I do miss things. I miss like having the cantina as my hub place. I don't like that we necessarily have to pull up like the holocron, the holo projector to start these missions. But I get to visit these planets, and I get to do all these different things in these hubs. I get to meet these completely new characters, and I'm like, is it so bad? It throws me off 100%, but I'm glad It does. I think I need to play through it a little bit more. I've have only like gone through like a little past halfway through Attack of the Clones. I haven't even used the skill tree that much, but it's fun. It's just it's like a little bit of a learning process. Like what you're doing right now on the screen. Like there are these changes, the quality of life on this of like you can literally feel like you're playing with these characters. Like there's a gameplay
Yeah.
to it now. Like that stuff is great. But then the story is kind of short. But then there's something super creative. It's just these things about like living in stars that wasn't there, living in the world that I appreciate. I don't know if it came at the expense of some of the things that really drew us in, because a lot of us were complete Saga fans at the end of the day, and that's probably our last real understanding of the formula. But I'm getting there. I think with a little bit more time, with a little bit more streams, yeah. And I'd say the humor is even better than I expected. I was planning on just playing on a mumble mode from the start, but I'm fine with the voices because I'm seeing how kinetic and how exciting the humor is. Like Jar Jar is used in such a fun way.
And I think the skill progression tree is another part we haven't talked about that is completely new change. It is as bare bones and basic as a skill progression tree could possibly be, but it's a cool step in the right direction, and it also gives you another thing to strive for. And I think that's just with Lego, again, has had the same formula for so long that you know which checkpoints you got to hit in past Lego games. You know, okay, I want to collect all the characters, but I might not care about the mini kits or the red bricks. Okay, once I've collected all the characters, I'm kind of done with Lego. Or maybe I only care about 100%ing all the levels, and I don't really care as much about the. Oh, somebody's trying to duel me here.
That's me.
I know.
Had to catch you off your guard.
And then I lost my train of thought, but yeah. Anyway, it's just got so many levels that modernize the game and make it a game that non-Lego, non-Star Wars fans can definitely pick up and enjoy, but also Star Wars fans or both Lego Star Wars fans are going to absolutely love because it's everything you would expect and more, while also minimizing the film importance, I would say, which is kind of the number one disappointing factor. But it's other than that, I don't really have anything to say about negatives because I think everything else is so drastically improved, and just the additions of more and more content, the additions of more and more abilities and paths and customization, and it's a true open world game, and I appreciate what they're going for here. I would have a hard time yet, like, calling it my favorite Lego Star Wars game because the complete saga is just so, fundamental to my childhood. But it is a very good game, and I would definitely call it the second best Lego Star Wars game right now. And, maybe putting another 30, 40 hours in and 100% completing it, I might say it's the best Lego Star Wars game. And it very well could be on paper, but I mean, it's a very good game, and I definitely recommend anybody who's on the fence pick it up and give it a try yourself, even if you just want to rent it for a while or you have Game Pass or something, pick it up and try it out. It should be worth your time if you're into both Lego or Star Wars.
Yeah, no, there's just a pure love to this game that's definitely there. I mean, bringing a character like Nobot and having a full story is so cool. Mr. Bones, who was literally only ever described in the Aftermath trilogy, and he got a custom model. Like, that blows my mind. There's things about, like, even the combat is so special. Like there's a level of like individuality. I think like there's ways these characters jump around and play that is that wasn't there before, that I am really appreciating. You're really making it hard for me to gather my thoughts, but
we'll play the duel out, and then we'll finish up and give it kind of like a general score.
Come on, no.
Yes, by the 1-1.
No, my coins.
The ability to be open to your style of play. Like for me, I'm somebody who kind of prefers to go through story modes first and then it really explore open worlds, do the collectathon stuff. I'll do stuff as I pass it by. Like if I see a kyber brick, I'm not going to just like leave it there. I gotta get it. But I'm somebody who prefers to finish the game and then, once I have all the stuff I need, then I just go and I go for the collectibles full on. It allows you to do that. It allows you to go for the collectibles right away if you'd like that. If you want to just stop and hit everything in your path, you could do that as well. It's a lot less linear than before, and I think even other Lego games, because people are going to say, oh, well, there's Lego games that are kind of open world, and for sure there are, like even Lego Lord of the Rings has an open world, but it's open world that is very much limited to taking you to the levels. It doesn't have as many things
It's
going
very
on.
on rails, yeah.
Exactly. So it's, even though you can like wander around in a big world, it doesn't necessarily mean it's open to your style of play, which is kind of the main definition of an open world game, is to let you explore and try things in a variety of different ways. So anyway, I think that should kind of wrap up our review. We both definitely like this game quite a bit. To give it a score, it's tough because we've never given a video game a score on here. And for me, I kind of view video games on both, obviously what's here in the game itself, the gameplay, the story, all of that, but also just, will I be playing this, or how long will I be playing this for? Does it keep calling to me to want to keep playing even when I've finished everything? Will I still want to go back and try this game again, play it a second time? All of that is taken into consideration for me when I play video games, and I think this one definitely has enough layers to have all those things be consideration. I'd say probably I'd give it, as of now, a 3.75 out of 5. I really like it. I like it a lot. So I think the Rush story stuff does bring it down a little bit for me, because I was looking forward to seeing a more modern take on some of the like Lego Star Warsy versions of the films. But all the stuff they've added on top of that has like boosted it up and alleviated most of my disappointments. And as I begin to, because right now I'm still collecting everything. I intend to collect everything in this game at some point. And so by the time I finish collecting and 100%ing this game, I might like it even more. I might bump it up to a 4, but I think right now 3.75 for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'd give it. I want to say the same. I don't know if I will. I think it's also because my experiences so far, like this is really the first time I've done any open world stuff, and really extensively played around it, and I've enjoyed that. But because I, like you, I've mostly been focusing on just doing the things that are story only, mission only, the 5 per episode. You know, the Phantom Menace is not the best start place. When we played A New Hope here on our channel, that first level is so fun and so exciting versus anything essentially in the Phantom Menace. Even like the podcast race for me, like not the podcast, but pod race. I don't know. I love the original version in the complete saga way more, even if it is grindier. But I'm hoping maybe it's because I've only like I enjoyed a lot more the Geonosis level this time in the factory, because I also did bring in a little bit more of the puzzle field that I was missing. I will give it a 3.75 only because I think my enjoyment of the game will go up. If I had to do it based on just the first episode and a half, no, I'd give it a 3.5. But based on the mix of all the things that I've seen online, that I've played through, a little bit more of the open world stuff that we explored in this video, I think a 3.75 will be right. And by the end, once I've collected everything, it'll be fun. It'll be awesome. So yeah, I'm excited. At the end of the day, this is a game we were all hyped up for years, and it's gotten a lot of it. It's gotten a lot of it right, and it's done a lot of things I didn't expect, and I think I'm at the end just appreciative of that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think it's lived up to the hype. Thank you guys so much for watching our review. Stay tuned for more live streams that we're going to do with Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. We're going to be still mixing this up and doing most of them on Twitch live streams. We'll post repackaged versions on YouTube. So if you haven't followed us on Twitch, follow us on Twitch, and stick around for YouTube, because you will be getting the same content. We'll just cut out the fluff and give it to you straight on YouTube. So we're going to continue to post all of that in the future. Stay tuned for Monday's video. Sanak's going to have a Monday video for us on Monday. And then if you haven't checked out Darth Bane from last week, check out that video, as well as our tier list that we just posted yesterday. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys all next time.